I'm kind of excited for this. Um, so, this thing says mountain dwarfs are strong melee fighters and capable heavy armored casters. They can use scrolls to enchant even some artifacts. The description makes me so excited for this. I feel like it's gonna be great. Yeah, it's gonna be weird if it's not if it's not great. Like I guess that it could be not great if it has terrible aptitudes, but I don't think it's gonna have terrible aptitudes. Um, +2 access, unlike the +3 from Heal Orc, but it doesn't matter because it's still +2 maces. Um, yeah, not terrible from what I've seen so far. Maces, because maces are more easy to upgrade. And we are going to go for 12 maces. And then after that, we're gonna go for 12 fighting and 12 armor. Yeah. Also, we have Scorch. We're Cinder Acolyte, so I should actually train for that. I think that is actually more important to train for that than to go for a weapon first, because Scorch is better than weapons. It's not gonna load. Is there anything that I can do to make it load? Huh. It should load. Why is it not loading? Okay, there we go. Yep. So yeah, since mountain dwarfs are in trunk, I'm decided that I might as well give them a try. Yeah, in case you're unaware, they have a funny mechanic. You cast spells with the assistance of glyphs marked upon your armor, greatly reducing the complex movements which would otherwise be required. The encumbrance rating of all armor you wear is reduced by half for purposes of spell success. So not for evasion, but who cares about that? We want spell success. Artifact enchanting. You can use scrolls of enchant weapon and an armor upon random artifacts. It cannot raise their enchantment above what would normally be possible on a mundane item of the same type and cannot affect especially unusual artifacts at all. So no enchanting um, Scales of the Dragon King, for example. I think you should be able to enchant Scales of the Dragon King because they're not that unusual. They're like especially good on especially good Randart gold scales. But I suppose that's what they mean by especially unusual. Anyway, we found Scale Mill. My Scorch barely goes up in difficulty. Um, yeah, I feel like this is gonna be really fun. By the way, in the past I have been asked about about animate armor and what kind of character I could see using animate armor. It's very clear that animate armor is the ultimate spell for something like this. Um, because what other thing could cast heavy or cast with heavy armor and actually like do well at that? Why is the notifications for my stream broken? Why are they broken? They have been broken ever since I switched them um to like I tried to make it so that it shows what game I'm playing and the title of the stream too, but it doesn't work. It just like stopped updating and I have no idea how to fix it. Warning, the stream announcements are the most unreliable feature in this bot, but the streaming role is fairly reliable. Um, but I already have a streaming role in my server. I don't want to mess with that, I think. So yeah, the most unreliable feature on this bot. No wonder, no wonder. Anyway, let's continue. So yeah, I wonder how enjoyable the experience is gonna be with these mountain dwarfs. I haven't even seen the entirety of the aptitudes. Um, I mean, they seem very Hilorky. Yeah, 3 invocations. Um, 1 evocations is nice. -2 shape shifting because being a heavy armor species, you actually want to not use shape shifting. Um, it's not terrible, but getting to, for example, Lich form, Death form, is gonna be very expensive. It's gonna take quite a while. So probably not worth it. Probably not. Hmm. -2 alchemy. +2 fire magic and +1 earth magic. For some reason, I would have expected them to be flipped. +2 earth magic and +1 fire magic. Um, but anyway, yeah, +2 fire magic in this case is actually really good. Gets me um, to 1% miscast a Scorch very quickly. Oh, we found Chainmail. That's nice. I'm gonna equip it. Yeah, it does mess with my success rate, but it doesn't mess that badly. It is pretty magical. These guys work like that. Encumbrance rating 14. So, for the purpose of spells, it's encumbrance rating of 7. And what has an encumbrance rating of 7? Let me give you an example. Swamp skills. Yeah. So it's pretty much as if I'm casting with swamp skills, except that instead of being swamp skills, it's um, chainmail, you know? Taking all things into account, I still like if somehow I was to get swamp skills soon, I would use those instead of using chainmail because it's a lot of success rate for a little bit of armor class, and I would be getting poison resistance. But we shall think about that later. Another god that I actually want to try is the new version of Okawaru. I think that it would make a lot of sense to go Okawaru. Because what are some of the worst things about Okawaru as it is today? The fact that you get artifacts that are like potentially pretty lame, but Mountain Dwarf can enchant them. So, oh my god, I'm dying here. Come on. Yeah, I got robust. I mean, it would be nice if I could get some use out of that. Dying. I'm gonna level up fighting because maybe that is gonna give me some HP to not die here. Okay. Now let's see if I can survive some magic darts. Yeah. I think it should be fine because I have a ton of HP. Or a ton of armor class for this point in the game. That was rough. But we lived, and that's what counts. Yeah. What did I get? A hand axe? Who cares about that? Yeah, Mountain Dwarf is new. Well, I mean, it's very different from the original iteration of Mountain Dwarf, which I don't even remember that well. I think it was just like Hilork, but with the slightly different aptitudes. I don't think it had anything interesting or special compared compared to Hilork and Minotaur. Hilork, Minotaur, and Mountain Dwarf were kind of samey always. Minotaur, when Mountain Dwarf was removed, Minotaur actually got its some of its fancier things that it has nowadays, like the retaliatory headbutts. I don't think that feature existed when Mountain Dwarfs were originally in the game. Um, I was not around to talk about sumo, so you missed January fights. Well, there's always a tournament in like months 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11. So it's 1 month there is a tournament, and 1 month there isn't a tournament. It's a pretty brutal life because not only do they get to compete, or like do they have to compete at their highest capacity every 2 months, which is already pretty brutal for like for a professional fighter, especially when they do it for 15 days in a row, right? But like they get a week of break and then they go on a tour throughout Japan, and they do that like it's almost restless. Um, yeah, it's not an easy life for many reasons, but that's just one reason on top. Mm, so yeah, you can definitely watch the sumo if in those dates. There's also sometimes um, YouTube channels and Twitch streams that dedicate themselves to sumo things. So you might also find out about sumo like that. Mm, yeah, Terunofuji won this most recent tournament, which was pretty cool. Everyone thought that this was gonna be like Terunofuji's passing of the torch, like everyone just thought that he was gonna go in, like lose a couple of matches and then retire, but he ended up winning it all once again. The rate that is going, it's likely that he'll actually get to his 10 tournaments. He wanted to win 10 tournaments before retiring. Mm. What are these? Oh, they changed the glyph for the statues. Hmm. Okay, nothing interesting has dropped. You watched a couple of fights, then YouTube started showing you food channels from Japan. um, the only thing that I've seen when it comes to food from Japan is like those high-end restaurants that like make a really tiny block of wagyu. That is not even that expensive, all things considered, because it's wagyu, but still it is not particularly affordable. I know that I certainly couldn't afford it, even if I had access to that kind of food anyway. But yeah, I wonder how it would be. Has anyone here has had wagyu ever? I am curious. Is it actually good? Well, I guess it is actually good, but like, is it actually worth it? Because sometimes there's things that are like obviously better than the alternative, but when you take into account the value or like the cost of admission, you don't think it's worth it. Um, yeah. I have not mentioned, but I already identified blinking, so this is probably not gonna be a disastrous run. I can read my scrolls if I want to try to get acquirement, and then acquirement would be really cool because I can enchant Randarts as a mountain dwarf. It's so cool that you can enchant Randarts. I really like that feature. This, like, none of these two things were in the game, like, were part of Mountain Dwarf last time Mountain Dwarf was in the game. Um, as I already said, they were pretty much just the same as Hillorks and Minotaurs. They had no funny gimmicks. Mm. You can enchant artifacts. Yeah, only on Mountain Dwarf. I don't think that any other species can get that trait. If I get put to sleep there by this guy, I would die instantly. Okay, how much damage is it dealing? 38%. It feels on the low side of things. I wonder if I should train more spellcasting for more mana. But in reality, like, mm, my main focus should probably be just like hitting things with a melee weapon. Um, Maybe get something like Starburst later on. Maybe even Ignition, because their aptitude for fire magic is actually really high. Their Conjurations is not so high, but Starburst may be a possibility. Ignition seems more likely, but and I bet it's not even that much more expensive than getting Starburst when you take into account the Conjurations aptitude. Okay, I haven't seen the HP aptitude, but I think it's +1. Yeah, it's +1. Mountain Dwarf, plus 10% HP. And I also have robustness, so that's why my HP is high right now. It is higher than I would have normally. I drank a potion just a couple of minutes ago and I got robustness, so I'm gonna try to not die to fully enjoy the experience of having robustness since so early in the game. Getting destroyed by this thing. And it just so happens that I don't have curing. This might be annoying. I think that the only way for me to deal with this thing is to try to hit it, miss 17 times, have my mana regen to 2, and then cast a Scorch, because a Scorch is one of the greatest things in the game. It is such a strong spell, Scorch. The fact that it ignores evasion is exquisite. I don't think it ignores armor class. Let me check. Nowhere in the spell does it say that it ignores evasion, but you know that it ignores evasion. Yeah, fantastic. I wonder if I can beat Usachio, actually. I think that I can, unless he summons something, which he didn't. Yeah, if he had summoned something, I don't think that I could have beaten him, because the Scorches would have been too diluted. I would have never been able to finish him off, and my melee is not particularly great. Demon Blade of Pain or Heavy Hand Axe. I'm not interested in swords with these guys because they're not good at swords, and the Trident, I'm also not particularly interested. It's not an exciting thing, even if I could enchant it, which I can, of course, but just not yet. I wouldn't spend my resources on enchanting a Trident, after all. Needs to be slightly more special than a Trident. You ordered it once when the company was paying for it. Didn't seem any different than regular meat. I see. Sometimes that can happen. That things are labeled as Wagyu, but because of regulations or things, they are legally allowed to call it Wagyu, but it's like, oh yeah, this cow that this meat came from is like the great grandson of a cow that like came from Japan and like was a proper pure breed Wagyu cow, something like that. I've heard about that kind of thing. Would be rough to pay so much to and to get that experience. But at least I don't have to worry about that. It's just food, so no, not worth it. I don't know. I feel like the experience of eating and in general the consumption of things can be well worth it. Um, as long as you properly know how to enjoy it, I suppose. Yeah, like for example, even if I had like all the money in the world, I still don't think that I would eat Wagyu on a daily basis. Um, I feel like I would have a heart attack if I tried to do that, and I feel like over time, like the magic wear off, and it would not be as enjoyable anymore. So even if you could eat it daily, you probably shouldn't eat it daily. This level has an ugly thing which I obviously cannot kill, because Crawl really likes placing monsters that you cannot kill, and your only option is to run away from. I especially dislike ugly things because they're faster than you, so you cannot walk away from them. They will catch up to you and you will die. Um, Being able to kill it would be nice, but not even with a potion of resistance, I think I would be able to beat it. Wagyu is supposed to melt in your mouth it like butter, but so does actual butter. But I'm sure that it also doesn't taste like actual butter. Um, yeah, I've heard that it's very fatty. Hmm, what do we do here? Hmm. Okay, time to upshaft. Did I just upshaft multiple levels? Is that a new thing? No, I was on D4 and then I was on D3, okay. Or was I on D4? Wasn't I on D5? No idea. Let's see if I can actually make it to the stairs so I can leave this level before the ugly thing finds me and proceeds to burn another scroll blinking out of me. Yeah. I wanna go back to making some crawl commentary videos, except that, well, not commentary, but like what I define as non-gameplay content, you know. Mm, yeah, I have a couple of YouTube comments that have been left that I already saved screenshots for, of them to like make video responses to them. Um, um, Maybe I could make something about like my experience with Mountain Dwarf by the time I am done with this character. Yeah. Hmm. What do we? Strength. Yeah, I was thinking intelligence. I think that after this strength increase, I am going to try to get intelligence. Okay, we just have to visit the temple to find all the altars. Oh, you know, something that's extra cool that I hadn't thought about. Um, since I am Cinder Acolyte, eventually I'll go Jiva, and normally it's hard to get to enchant your stuff because it's gotta be um well, you're likely to not find like really cool stuff off the floor unless they're artifacts because the jellies eat everything else. But if I find something that's not that enchanted, I could enchant it myself with some scrolls of enchant weapon, enchant armor. Um, which, by the way, are a compelling reason to not read my scrolls at random because I do need to treasure those if I'm gonna be going Jiva, and I'm going to be going Jiva because it is the most consistent way to win, I think, when you are a worshipper of Ignis. Okay. All right. I have a brand weapon too, so if I find like a dire flail or something, um, I think it's not a terrible idea to enchant or to brand it. Oh, I have fire resistance, so this steam dragons are not that scary. Hmm. I think that I'm gonna use the plate for a bit. 5 evasion, but that's just how it is. Nothing to do about that. D8 dead jack, that's probably lair entrance. Um, can I beat this guy? I don't think that I can beat this guy. It just has way too much HP on armor class and damage. Um, so once again, another monster that makes me leave the level. Okay. And we find the entrance to Orc. And nothing that is too bad. This curare could be useful to kill the Death Yaks. I hope that I get more than one. If I get more than one curare, I could probably easily beat the Death Yaks. I'm already out of mana and pretty hurt. I'm gonna try to kill this guy and then teleport away. Yeah, I wonder why things are not going that well for me. Like I'm encountering a lot of fights that I'm just like losing badly. Okay. And this must be the Bailey, right? Yeah, I think that's what it is. Okay, this should be not so difficult because of Scorch. Scorch gives me first strike, kind of. It also generates a steam, which further hurts these orcs. It should be fine, I would like to believe it. Haven't found more spells that are interesting, of course. You know, there's more hexes that I have not tried, but I don't really care about hexes at all, so I don't think I'm ever gonna try them. Sigil of Binding is kind of okay because at least it's a hex that doesn't require or that it doesn't check willpower. I think that it places things that whenever the things step on them, like enemies or you, they are like rooted for a while, which is kind of a cool effect. But I feel like I can just get rid of the monsters faster by just straight up killing them. I wonder if Sigil of Binding would be useful in this situation. Probably not. This would be a good moment to have an ability to hurt these guys. But I don't have anything. No mana, no wands, no evocables, no thing. Yeah. I had a scroll of immolation, but I used it when I was re-identifying stuff. Yeah, the thing that I'm most worried about is this Orc Knight. I have no idea how I beat this guy. Like maybe the net that I have. That seems to me like the only way to actually beat it, but seems that monsters are not catching up to me. I think that they're still chasing after me, so I'm just like gonna try to sneak past them. Okay. I think that there's good loot here. Aha, that's Randart Plate. Ooh, okay. Considering that we were using +0 plate, getting +12 plate with 2 pips of willpower is a gargantuan upgrade. Maybe like game-winning levels of strength. The 2 pips of willpower will make it so that I don't have to worry about getting hexed, which is really, really nice. And yeah. Okay, so I think that there's enemies here. No enemies? Okay. try to make my way to the other alcove so I can grab whatever I can before the knight reaches me. And I'm specifically worried about the knight because the normal orc warriors are like very much killable. The knight, it's another whole story, whole nother story. That's what I meant. Though maybe with 24 armor class I could actually beat it, but I still shouldn't try my luck. Anyway, it's really nice to have plus 12 plate so early into the game. Yep. I can still die, like definitely. I'm just gonna try to play well enough so that I don't actually die. I wonder if I can beat this guy. Yeah, I was able to tank the two-head ogre for a bit. Did you see? I got hit overall 3 times and I didn't die. I guess that's the kind of thing that happens when you get plus 12 plate on D9. There's is it an unseen horror? I think it is an unseen horror. Okay, I'm out of mana. Okay. It's nice to have something really strong defensively, but I would appreciate an upgrade to this +0 flail that I have been using. I decided over using this flail, like I decided over the quarterstaff. That's what I mean. Like I decided this flail over the quarterstaff because I think that I want to use a shield, and I don't want to like spend a bunch of experience towards the staves, like put it towards the staves when I'm not gonna be using that long term. The experience on this run is probably gonna be kind of tight. We want fighting, we want maces, we want farm magic, spellcasting, evocations, we want armor. And if we do end up going shields, we want shields. At least we have good aptitudes for almost all of those, but still, it's a lot of different skills that I want to get to somewhat high levels. Fiery armor it is. And yeah, who would have guessed that having 31 armor class by this point in the game would be so good? Yeah, Great Mace or Dark Flail would be nice things to get. Okay, found the scroll blinking from doing this. That's really nice. Sweet. Such as being this this glyph in console is so weird to me. You know, I think that by this point I've been playing Crawl for like 13 years. Has it been 13 years? I think it has been 13 years. Maybe 14, I don't know for sure. But anyway, throughout all of that time, statues were 8s, and now they are another symbol that is not an 8, which is very confusing. I think 8 was repurposed for something else. Gargoyle. Cannot beat that. Not yet. Not even with this crazy amount of armor class. Yeah, in order to beat a Gargoyle, I don't need defenses because it can punch through my defenses no matter what they are. I need offense. I need to be able to kill it before it kills me. Yeah, sure, let's get some armor skill. And I really want more spell power on Scorch. Should I just train for it like now? Like get 8 spell casting, 8 fire magic. Should I just do this? I think that I'm gonna get like the spell power first, and then I'm gonna get the mana so that I kill monsters faster, even if I get less actions. As opposed to getting more actions that deal less damage. Okay, we got a Dwarf Flail. Big upgrade. This Dwarf Flail is good enough to brand it, as I thought about earlier. We also have a Flail and a Morningstar. We also have Lodul. Lodul. I wish I could see how much money Lodul is carrying. Um, with this setup that we have here, we can easily kill Lodul. Yeah, this is actually not gonna be dangerous. Or so I would like to believe. I guess I can still be gotten by attrition or by doing that, because here's the thing. Ladul in these tiles cannot do the strongest thing that it has at its disposal, which is a call down lightning. It doesn't do it if you're too close to it. But if I like start to retreat, it will get access to that ability, and that can actually kill me. Yeah, like the fact that this fight kind of went south is because I did get hit by a 33 damage lightning bolt from Ladul, call down lightning. Yeah, not unlike what it is to fight a Thunderhawk in bolts. By that point in the game, they are kind of like pretty much they represent the same threat that Lodul represents at this point in the game. Getting hit for 30 is actually on the nastier side of things at this point. It would have been even worse if I had not gotten robust. Also, I should rest. Okay. I think that I want to brand the Darflail. Yeah, I don't think that the Darflail is gonna be like long-term weapon for me to use, but I still think that it could be really useful to enchant it or to brand it for now. Brand weapon is something that I've never valued as highly as enchant weapon anyway. Venom. Venom is good for this point in the game. Okay, we have found enchant weapon and enchant armor. I can read this. This is not something that I want to use. Let's buy these. I'm still playing in Kelby. I heard something about the server going down a couple of months ago, but it seems that it hasn't happened yet. Another death yak. Nothing unexpected. Yeah, as long as it's only one at a time, I can beat it. Even more so now that I have Venom in my Darflail. Well, a Darflail and Venom on my Darflail, I guess. Yeah, big upgrades for this character. And yeah, I have too much willpower for these guys to be scary, which it feels really nice. By the way, do these guys get 3 or 4 willpower per level up? I think they get 3. It would be so strong if they got 4. Oh, they get 4. They get 4. Wow, that's so nice. I hope that they retain that. Yeah, I like species that get 4 willpower per level up, because the difference between 3 and 4, as I always say, is with 3 willpower per level up, you need 2 willpower items to not get hexed in the late game, or well, at any point in the game, pretty much. With 4 willpower, you only need 1 hex item to not get hexed. You can always equip 2 to make it extra sure that you don't get hexed, but equipping only 1 willpower item pretty much places your chances of getting hexed like on the low single digit, you know? It's like 5 or 8% chance to get hexed, which is definitely not bad at all. Acid Dragon Scales. But no, why am I even thinking about those? I'm still. I said earlier that maybe I could use these, or I would consider using Swamp Scales, but that was before getting plus 12 plate. Now that I have plus 12 plate, we're not using those. What do you have? Plus 4 flail. Yeah, that's not the first one that I found. A highly enchanted flail. I still think that the dark flail is better. It's really nice that for once a white pack actually gave me a substantial upgrade because I feel like they always have these highly enchanted items and they're never the correct type for what you're trying to do. But this time we got a Darflail, an enchanted Darflail. Mm, okay. Um, Last level before we go do Lair. That's 8 spellcasting, 8 farm magic. My Scorch should be strong now. Well, I guess it will get stronger if I start leveling up intelligence. How did that thing reach me? I guess it did have the ability to do so. Oh man, this is gonna suck. I'm gonna go for fiery armor. Somehow I'm beating it. And fortunately, it's not part of a band. I was thinking that maybe it was gonna be part of a band, but I'm glad to see that it was not the case. Mm, I have cold resistance too, so maybe I can go beat the one on D6 that I had to run away from earlier. Um, I think that ugly things shouldn't be able to generate on D6, not even as part of bolts, unless the bolts are like ruined bolts, because well, my character is on D11 and I have 26 armor class, and still it was kind of scary to fight that ugly thing, and it wasn't even a white ugly thing. Mm. Alright, we got a Ring of Strength, which is actually really nice. Should increase my damage a teeny tiny bit. Um, Talking about increasing my damage, I should also get 14 maces, because 14 is min delay for the Darflail. Um, been finding too many Randart Tridents. Give me a Randart Darflail or something like that. That is exciting. That I can enchant with my new ability of Mountain Dwarf to enchant artifacts. I wonder who came up with the idea of giving that gimmick to Mountain Dwarf. It's not like a particularly bad gimmick or anything. By the way, I should probably leave because this is D12. Um, yeah, it's not a bad gimmick, but it's not something that I would have personally thought of. Maybe it's too ingrained in my mind that artifacts are um, immovable and they are just how they are. I wouldn't be surprised if if months pass and I come back to play Mountain Dwarf and I completely forget that I can enchant artifacts. Because I don't think that I'm gonna be enchanting a lot of artifacts this run unless I get like a cool weapon that's not very highly enchanted. Um, Has any of you tried Mountain Dwarf yet? It's on Trunk, so you don't have to make an account in a development server or experimental server or anything. You can just start a game in Trunk and play some Mountain Dwarf. Yeah, there's also gonna be a steel elf species that has the ability to dual wield, which is also something that Dev said in the past that they were not gonna implement into the game, but apparently it is going to be implemented. Um, I don't care so much about trying that one actually. I'm still gonna try it, I suppose, in time whenever I feel like playing crawl. Um, but I'm not gonna rush to try it as I am kind of rushing to try Mountain Dwarf. Well, it's not that I'm rushing precisely. It's more that I actually felt like I wanted to play crawl. Um, and the newly added mountain dwarfs made me actually go through with my desire to play the game. And so far it's been fine, but then again I also got plus 12 plate so early. The journey to the plus 12 plate was kinda painful. There were a couple of close calls that almost killed me. But now I think we're gonna be fine for a while. If we get extra lucky, we might be fine for good for the entirety of the game. I read a scroll of poison, and the only monsters that appear are the ones that are poison resistant. Come on, what is up with that? I was not poison resistant myself, so it was a straight up a debuff for me. I need to position in a choke point because otherwise I'm gonna die. I have curing. Okay, so let's use that. Maybe I should have used fiery armor as well. Fanar. Will Fanar use Osokubu's fridge? I don't think so, because there's too many allies on the screen. I think Fanar can still kill me, 3 dice of 18, but I have the resistance in 37 armor class. I don't think that I lose here, just because of the 37 armor class. Fridges for 5, and then I get Bolt of Cold for 1. Yeah, nothing to worry about. Okay. Plus 6 Chainmail of the Tundras. Definitely doesn't compare to what I have already. Phantasmal Warrior in a ruined door. I mean, perfectly understandable. You think that there's gonna be like a door here and some loot on this part of the level? I don't think so. I highly doubt it, so I'm not even gonna mess with that Phantasmal Warrior. I feel like it's a bit too much for my character right now, especially because it's undead, and so my brand doesn't do anything to it. And because I've forgotten to say it in the last couple of streams, I guess that this could be your reminder to give Tebi a try. I really like that game. I should have gotten sponsored by Crest Spirit to shield for Tebi with how much I have been telling people to play it. Yeah. I have never taken a sponsorship for anything ever in my life, but I would take a sponsorship for Tebi. So if they just like arrived to my email address one day and decided to start giving me money for something that I'm already doing, then I would graciously accept said money for sure. Oh, we got acquirement. There we go. Let's see what we got here. Kite Shield of Resistance to Electricity, or a bunch of money. I'll take the Kite Shield because it's resistance to electricity. We're not gonna use it immediately, but it's at least a guaranteed source of resistance to electricity. The second acquirement is much more underwhelming. So yeah. Also, the Kite Shield is would remove my ability to use the Dart Flail, so I don't wanna use it yet. I don't wanna equip it yet. I want to wait until I have a decent one-handed weapon in the form of, for example, a Morning Star, a more highly enchanted Morning Star than a +1 Morning Star, at least. Yeah. For now, I definitely can get by with what I already have. I should use Fiery Armor. Yeah, might as well use that Ignis Piety because we're getting close to the point where I'm gonna abandon Ignis for Jiva. Hopefully we do get Jiva. there's always the possibility of that not happening, and that would be sad. Yeah, we don't have Jiva in the temple. Jiva temples are actually extremely rare, but it can happen. We got Spider. That's a shame. I don't like Spider. Rupert with a heavy battle axe. I don't have to fear getting destroyed by Rupert. 3% chance to get paralyzed, but I still feel like I should leave the level. We have a volcano here, which I should be able to do. I have magic mapping. Okay, it's not that far away. Okay, these lava snakes are immune to fire, so no point in scorching them. Yep, immune to fire, as you would expect from something that's literally swimming on lava. I like that they don't abuse their ability to attack you from afar. They actually walk towards you, so it makes it a lot more palatable to deal with them. Alright, let's see what we got here. Nothing too bad, yeah. Sometimes what's behind this door is actually really messed up. But this time it was even on the easier side of things. A Hellhog. Yeah, so far very easy. Molten Gargoyles. Okay, Molten Gargoyle. Easy. We got some globes. Hand Cannon of Flaming, but I don't think that I'm gonna be using that. I still have not used Hand Cannon for an extended period of time. I think I did have a character that was using a Hand Cannon for a bit. I don't even remember what happened with that character. Did I win or did it die? A Chainmail of Fire Resistance. I don't know what enchantment it has. It might be good. I mean, am I going to use it versus plus 12 plate? The answer is no. So I'm just gonna leave it on the floor. Yeah, I still haven't found any funny spells, or at least fire magic spells. We have Rocket Jump. Is Rocket Jump a thing that I care about? Do we have anime armor? Because that's also an important spell for a Mountain Dwarf. The Mountain Dwarf spell, pretty much. The ultimate spell for a Mountain Dwarf. Yeah, Mountain Dwarf is back. I mean, there was not much to bring back if you really think about it, because Mountain Dwarf before didn't have any unique features that you couldn't replicate with other species. Like if you care about aptitudes, I think that these guys' aptitudes are actually worse than the original Mountain Dwarfs, but they get the ability to cast spells in heavy armor pretty much easily, because armor penalizes them by half compared to other species. So I'm gonna be casting stuff in plate, which by the way I already have a pretty fantastic plate. Will most likely stick with me for the whole game, unless I find something even stronger, which is unlikely. And they also get another ability that lets them enchant artifacts. So yeah, they're fancier than they used to be. Definitely, like they do things that that the original version of Mountain Dwarf couldn't even dream about doing. Um, I think they're pretty cool for those reasons. The fact that they can cast in heavy armor makes them a lot more interesting than Healorcs as spellcasters too. By the way, Healorcs are gone, and you may be wondering how do you Beog now? Well, every species just gets accepted into Beog now. I think you get turned into an orc when you worship Beog, but like with no changes to your aptitudes or anything. It's just a cosmetic change. Uh, I should also try the Beog upgrade, or like not upgrade, but the Beog change. What do we train now? I don't want to train more fire magic because I feel like if I do, I'm not gonna get Starburst or Ignition, which are the things that I actually want to go for. I'm just gonna train fighting for now. Oh, there we go. We got the Jiva altar. Um, do I abandon Ignis now, or do I wait a bit? I feel like I can wait a bit, and I'll just abandon by the time we're done with Orc. So I'm gonna go do Orc, and then I'm gonna abandon Ignis for Jiva. As that way I get the Orc money too, which might actually be impactful. Not so much because I'm kinda rich and I don't have anything that I want to buy from a shop, but you never know when there's gonna be a sequence of shops that actually have really strong things that you want and you cannot buy because you're a Jiva worshipper. Okay, Giga poison, but not enough to kill me, so we just rest it off. Oh, I got pushed away from the stairs. Oh wow, I got pushed away from the stairs 2 times. Oh well, digging would be a nice thing to have right now. I'm going to teleport and try to leave the level. I'll come back much later. How do I feel about when people say Jiva is detrimental to winning? I don't understand that. I know that Jiva is really, really ridiculously strong even very early into the game. I have gotten characters that have gone Jiva on D1. Well, specifically one character that went Jiva on D1 and won the game super easy because it went Jiva on D1. Um, so yeah, I think that Jiva as it is right now is better than all of the things that you would be missing for going Jiva, even as early as going Jiva on D1, which is very much a 180 in my opinion of Jiva. There's like that tier list thing that I made a couple of years ago where I rank Jiva very lowly because of the eating mechanic and how hindering it was. And yeah, that was true for the old version of Jiva, I think. But the current version of Jiva very much offsets the downside of losing a bunch of consumables the way that you do. At least that's what I think. Yeah, who says that? Is that like an opinion on Reddit or something? I still want to leave the level, by the way. You may be outdated. Oh, yeah. If you're still going off the old knowledge of old Jiba, yeah, yeah, it's very different nowadays. The last version you played extensively was 0.16. That explains it all. Okay, can I actually escape the level now? This would have been a pretty stressful sequence of events if I didn't have 30 million armor class, you know? I'm glad that I have so much armor class. Okay. Back to my hole we go, I suppose. Back to the hole. I guess there's many like it, but this one is mine. The thing that I'm like, I was not worried in the slightest by the elephants, but the cane toad is actually so scary because of the ease at which it can poison me and therefore completely bypass my armor class. Yeah, it's not a common occurrence that that you actually fear for the monster's ability to bypass your armor class at this point in the game. That is a thing that does happen, but not so early, because not often did you get so much armor class so early. Can I please leave the level? Come on. I'm trying so badly to leave the level. At this point, I feel like I have already cleared the level pretty much. Um, but I still am going to leave because I feel like there's gonna be nastier things if I stay there. That was an antique armor shop. I wish it hadn't been a mimic. Yeah, antique armor shop would have been really nice, all things considered. Sometimes I feel like you encounter artifacts that are really, really cool, um, and they're like +0 or so. And as a mountain dwarf, I don't have to worry about that because I can just enchant it myself. Yeah, so far so good. And nothing unexpected has happened. There's been some fights that I've been in danger, but at least I haven't received like very large bursts of damage that are not like from poison, which is nice. This game I didn't use Foxfire Swarm even once. I don't think I'm gonna start using it now. Yeah, it won't do a lot against the orcs that are actually scary. So yeah, against the knights and stuff, the ones that have armor. Might as well use all of my piety towards fiery armor. With fiery armor, I have 40 armor class, and of course the retaliatory damage. Okay, we still haven't found animate armor. Um, we still haven't found ignition. We still haven't found starburst. Those are gonna be the exciting things to look forward to in this character: ignition, starburst, and animate armor. Yeah, that's a lot of things. This would be a lot easier if I had digging, but I don't. You're playing a caster null, requested a shop from Gozak, and the shop has the Dragon's King skills. Um, I mean, I guess it's fine. You can probably just pivot because you're a null, so it's not like you have wasted a ton of experience towards something that you're not gonna end up using at the end of the day. As a null, you can pivot between playstyles as easy as just switching your items. Part of the reason why some consider null to be one of the easiest species, you don't really get punished for mistakes in skilling because there's no way for you to make those mistakes in the first place. Yeah, it's adapting to whatever the floor provides you with. Um, I'll come back when I actually have HP for the Warlord. Null can pivot even if it means that you're not casting again for most all of the game. You can probably get away with casting if you really want to by equipping a Ring of Wizardry. You will probably not be casting the spells that you were using to kill things, but you can probably cast like for example, if you were using Iron Shot or whatever it's called now, you can probably just switch to Stone Arrow and use a Stone Arrow as as some would use throwing or a ranged weapon, and then when the monsters get close to you, you just switch to hitting them. Um, yeah. Anyway, it sounds to me like your game is almost won. Just because you got Dragon King scales. Those are so strong. Yeah, is it early in the game? How early in the game is it? You cleared Orc and Lure, so you can actually afford it. As a Ghosak worshipper, you can probably afford it very quickly anyway, right? Level 14. So yeah, pretty much the same as my character. Mm, I am going to read a teleport here. Yeah, I feel like things are starting to get kind of sketchy. There's just too many high-level things to be able to fight them all in one sitting. If you find Wizardry, you can probably cast your level 3s, which is good enough for a long time. Yeah, especially not on its own, but when combined with Dragon Skin skills and reasonable melee, then yeah, it's definitely worth it. Like pretty much look what I'm doing right now. I'm kind of doing exactly the same thing that I am suggesting you to do. Running around, low level spell, heavy armor, and decent weapon. You don't have an ideal weapon yet, but you have some stuff you can tidy over if you play careful. Yeah, you probably got this. Just play careful. Randart Laja tank. Tempting because it's a Randart Laja tank. I have so much money, I should probably do it. Okay, so pretty much these shops only had the Randall Laya tank for me. I'm gonna buy it. Maybe I don't go for... Oh, it's a speed branded Laya tank. It's so good. Is it better than resistance to electricity? Probably not, right? It's resistance to electricity after all. It's kind of a necessity. Um, I kind of really want to use it. It's like imagine enchanting this because I can enchant it. I can fully enchant this and then I will hit really really hard. Aha, yeah, I need to find resistance to electricity elsewhere. Um, I haven't even started training shields, so it's definitely possible. Um, I have 4 enchant weapons, so at the very least it will be a +7 Laja tank of speed. Um, Jeez, this is gonna be great. Okay, I guess back to Lair. And let's actually finish this Hellish Lair 5. Or maybe let's do this Lair 3, which I don't think that I have done yet. Oh yeah, Rupert. Can I beat Rupert? I don't think I can. Yeah, I knew that there was a reason for me to not have done that. 18 fighting. Yeah, I guess let's just find resistance to electricity somewhere else. If I end up regretting that decision, I could just wield a Morning Star or something at some point in the game. It would probably not be great, but it is certainly doable. I could also just go for Iron Shot too. Yeah, Rupert claims that level. That thing EG tries to do, Rupert actually does very easily. I'm never gonna kill that. Get over here. Okay, this is extremely annoying. I'm kinda dying here. I never had that Merfolk avatar be so annoying. Never in my life has that Merfolk avatar being this much of a pain. Um, okay, for a second I thought that was my teleport, but I'm glad that it isn't. Jeez, I had almost 160 HP and still that Merfolk avatar did that. Really rough. Okay, this time you're already next to me, so I can probably beat you. Okay. And we get the Trident of the Octopus King. I am curious to see if you can enchant on Randards. You can't enchant on Randards. I thought that maybe it was only gonna be the on Randards that do wacky stuff um, like Maxwell's Thermic Engine, for example, but it's all on Randards, it seems. I feel like I don't beat it. Yeah, I don't beat it. It has Toxic Radiance. Okay, time to go Jiba. Just want to say thank you for streaming your Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. I mean, I don't do it that much anymore. If you want to see other people who stream crawl, there's Particle Face, and there's Storinsky, and there is Wizard Ike, of course, which, by the way, got second place in the tournament. If you want to see what it looks like to actually play crawl well, go watch Wizard Ike. Yeah, I don't even play that much anymore. Surely a dwarf would be able to make that thing better. Yep. No one is streaming very often nowadays, sadly. Wizard Ike still does it like really consistently. I feel like every time that I am going to start stream, I see that someone else is streaming, and that one is usually Wizard Ike. Yeah, Wizard Ike got second place in the tournament. Oh, I shouldn't have opened this. It doesn't have fire resistance. I feel like I can actually beat this ghost. It doesn't even hit that hard. Oh, it has poison melee? I didn't notice. Maybe I cannot beat it, because once again, poison being my bane. Okay, we're beating teleport. He has the most towers of the top 25. Yeah. If I was good at crawl, that's what my tops would have looked like. I don't think I ever did top 25. I think the closest that I came was like one tournament I got like 26th place or so, but never top 25. But then again, my goals were never really to win the tournament or to do well in the tournament. I just played and did weird stuff until the point where like I was no longer interested in doing those things. Yeah, opening that door might kill me actually. I'm out of teleports. Hmm. Seeing a deep of Pyromancer on a character that lost all of its fire resistance is actually kind of scary. At least it didn't decide to spam fire attacks from range. Arcanist. Okay, yeah, we don't have to worry about the vitrifying. It takes forever for the charges of the Tin of Tremorstones to come back. Rough. I should probably switch to the Laja tank soon, if not already. Yeah, I should just do it now. Goodbye and hello +7 Laja tank. This thing about enchanting an artifact feels weird, but yeah, that's pretty cool. Damage rating of 43 with really fast attack speed too. It's like throwing monsters into the blender. Look at that. They just die and they have not much to do against me. Really cool. Lots of boulder beetles here. I wonder if it's like a reference to something. Oh yeah. Maybe I shouldn't have dropped the Darflail because of the Hydra. Can I beat the Hydra with what I have right now? I would like to believe that I can. Because if I can't, things get pretty complicated, I suppose. There we go. My magic happened to be enough to beat it. I'm liking Mountain Dwarf a lot. I feel like it's easy, which nowadays it's like my most like the first barrier that needs to be overcome. It needs to be easy and enjoyable, and it also it enables you to like, or not only enables you, like incentivizes you to go for a rather unusual playstyle, which is like actually being a warrior mage. Um, by making it less difficult for you to cast on heavy armor, so you're not sacrificing armor class for the ability to cast spells. It's really, really cool. Yeah, great idea. Have I gotten any Ignis rat effects yet? If not, it's taking a while for that to happen. I heard something about bogey bolts that let free Hell Sentinels, but I don't think that those bolts are in the dungeon. Also, I don't think that bolt has a Hell Sentinel. It has a Helephant, which is kind of scary when you don't have the resistance. Okay, I'm strong enough so that these things are not scary. Feels nice. What's my crawl myth game? Spider and oh, I don't know the other one because it's on the level that Rupert took possession of. Well, since I'm not doing Spider as my first rune, I have to go fight Rupert. There was a guy with curare darts earlier, I remember. I didn't kill it. I feel like I can probably kill it now. So yeah, if you want me to try a game, you can always gift it to me on Steam, and I'll check it out. I'll give it at least one stream. Yeah, just be sure to remind me if you have gifted me a game a long time ago and you want to see it. I don't think I want to open that. Lots of Hydras. What's up with these? Okay, close to min delay on the Laja tank. Oh, ouch. Yeah, perhaps I shouldn't be fighting this with no fire resistance. Um... Oh, it's two of them. Okay, no, we're out. We're not doing this. Alright, I'll come back later when I don't have zero fire resistance. Yeah, I was thinking if it's 1-on-1, maybe I can beat them. But since it's two of them, nah, not worth it. Too dangerous. Those fire dragons claim that level. Yeah, that's the crawl experience, really. You just run around and sometimes, or rather frequently actually, you encounter monsters that are just more powerful than you are for one reason or another, and they take claim of the level. And then you eventually come back and you actually clear the level. Yeah, it feels kind of dirty to be training evocations when what everyone wants to see is Mountain Dwarf casting Starburst. But oh, there it is. Okay, let's go. Who is gonna train that? I'm not gonna train that. We're gonna train for Starburst. Yeah, I was about to say that I haven't gotten it, but there it is. It's gonna be great. What you want to see is Dark Maul. Everyone wants to see Dark Maul. Dark Maul is so strong. But alas, it is such a rare occurrence. Sweet. Your gelatinous body deflects attacks. Oh, I thought that it was gonna do something fancier, but it only gives you 3 armor class and 3 evasion. I mean, that's already pretty good, I suppose. Manual of Armor? Maybe we delay the Starburst thing a bit. Yeah, Manual of Armor, I feel like it's gonna be really, really good for my character. Um, do we have Ignition? Oh, we also have Ignition, jeez. Or is it Ignite Poison? Oh, it's Ignition, straight up Ignition. Hmm. What do you think is the correct way to skill things? Do we go for Ignite Poison and, or like not Ignite Poison, do we go for Starburst and then Ignition? Or do we go um, for Ignition and then Starburst? I'm thinking Ignition first because I feel like it's gonna be cheaper to get going. And it also is like a lot more cool. Let me turn on the auto pickup for Scrolls of Enchant Weapon and Enchant Armor. I don't see them, but I should really turn on the auto pickup for those. Yep. Okay, so um, what was the level with? I think it was D6. The level with the Kobold with Curare Dart. It's so nice that I have a +7 Lajatang of speed, and it will only get better. Um, yeah, only possible with a Mountain Dwarf. I think it was this level, but I think that I have already cleared this. No, no, it was not this level. No idea which one it is because I thought that it was uncleared, but it is already. Um, well, I have cleared everything. Hmm. I'm sure that I had. Yeah, Curare guy, but I guess not. We're done with Orc, right? Yep, nothing else to explore there. Okay, so did Usus slurp it? I'm confused because I thought the guy was alive. Um, because if it had, if I had killed it, I would have picked up the Curare, and I know that I haven't used Curare. The alternative is that the guy is alive. I don't think that there is any possibility of me having killed the guy and me not having picked up the Curare because I have it on auto pickup. So I don't know what happened. I think that the guy is just like disappeared. Mm. But yeah, I think that it's too much of a hassle to search for it. I'm just gonna continue through the game. I feel like I can beat Rupert with what I have right now. Like I just net Rupert. Oh, Uruk too. What do you have? Vampiric Brodax. That's a weapon if I've seen one. Okay, Rupert. Rupert has, of course, a ton of willpower, so I cannot paralyze Rupert. This would be what I would curare Rupert if I had one. Mm, oh, he is Berserk. I am very tempted to just Slimify Rupert. I think that it is correct. Yeah, Rupert the Acid Bluff. Um, Rupert oozes right through the net and eats it too. I guess it's fine. Now, this vampiric Brodax would have made me go access if I had found it earlier. But unfortunately, Uruk was on the same level as Rupert. I'll keep the Ring of Fire resistance around for when we're done with Ignis Wrath, so I can have some fire resistance. Sonia with Curare. Well, there's some Curare, I suppose. Not that it's gonna be a lot of use anymore. I know that the Curare guy, like I remember the Curare guy was on a level right before the Death Yak. I do remember that. The Death Yak was in the entrance to Lair, so the entrance to Lair is on D8, so it must have been D7. But where was the guy? I also remember opening a door into those guys, but I have no idea where it was. Yeah, no idea. This is way too early for that band of enemies to be there. Okay, so we have Shoals and Spider of both terrible options. I could use some poison resistance, and by that I mean in some armor or a ring, not the Trident of the Octopus King. Yeah, a Spider is gonna be awful, but Shoals I feel like it's gonna be even more awful. It would be better if I had the ability to cast some high-level fire magic already, but unfortunately, well, you have seen how the game has gone so far. I only just found my fire magic, so I only started to think about the possibility of actually going for that. And then I got a Manual of Armor, so yeah. Turns out that opening that vault with the ghost that was actually kind of difficult to kill was very much worth it. Anyway, I think that I'm gonna die before I get to Ignition anyway, because scroll mid-game, so we shall see how it goes. I'm gonna try not to die, but I think that I'm gonna die. I don't have the poison resistance for this place. Poison has been a constant trouble, or like a lacking for this character. So yeah, I don't think that this is gonna go on for much longer. If I die, I'll come back tomorrow and play more Crawl. I promise. I'll not try Mountain Dwarf Cinder Acolyte. I'll try Mountain Dwarf of Okawaru. I don't care about the background. It's gonna be a Mountain Dwarf of Okawaru because I wanna take advantage of the enchanting artifacts thing with Okawaru. A fully enchanted speed Laya tank. Now it would be nice to find some slaying. Yeah, slaying is the greatest thing that you can find on a weapon with speed, or on a character that's using a speed weapon. That's what I mean. Yeah, I'm strong enough for the fire elementals to not be scary if I position. If they find me in the open, especially if I'm fighting other things, they actually could be scary. But if I'm full resources and like I'm not in the middle of a fight, yeah, easy kills. Even if I get slowed by Ignis. How long until I'm done with Ignis? Well remembers your sins, so still we have to wait a bit more. My prediction is that by the time I get to 18 armor, I already will not have a manual, but we shall see. Maybe it's an extra juicy manual and it goes all the way to 19 or even more. It feels real nice to have good armor class. Um, Good armor class is actually a bit of a counter to this place because, as you can see, the spiders themselves don't have that much HP or that much base damage. What they have is numbers, so they will be checking your armor class a million times, but if you have good armor class, it's gonna be okay. Mm. By the way, I'm very glad that I play console because I have had spider issues for a large part of my life. Um, I remember when I played the tiles. When I played the tiles game, you can watch it on YouTube if you want to. It took me 9 hours to beat it, and the spider tiles actually messed me up a bit. Um, yeah, I'm glad that I can just see them as abstract as glyphs instead of actual spiders in the screen. Yeah. I have not found an amulet. The only amulets that I have are lame. Yeah. You have finished your manual at 17.7. I'm gonna go all the way to 18. Ignis with one final cry of rage burns out of existence. Okay. So that means that I can have fire resistance again. And therefore I can go beat those monsters on D15. And go buy those books that have fire magic. Yeah. That's a nice change to resistance to corrosion. It used to be that it corroded you 4 every time you were to get corroded. Now, if you have the resistance to corrosion, it corrodes you half. It doesn't have less of a chance to corrode you, I think. I think it still just corrodes you, but it corrodes you half, which is more representative of what I would imagine when I hear resistance to corrosion. It's not sometimes immunity to corrosion, sometimes full effect of corrosion. No, it's actually resistance to corrosion now, which is nice. I like changes that make things more predictable. Yeah, and I think that that is a change that makes things more predictable. Okay, let's go for my ignition thing. Yeah, we're gonna need actually like 19 or so, probably a bit more than that. And also more intelligence, of course, if I'm actually gonna be going for ignition. But I do want ignition. I'm a bit surprised by how easy so far Spider has been. But then again, neither the previous level nor this one are particularly open. The Spider really only is super painful when you get one of those levels that's like fully open and you enter the level and you see like 30 spiders waiting to kill you. If that happens, it's gonna be sad. I hope that it doesn't happen. Hey, Scarf of Resistance. I'm gonna equip that right now. I have a Cloak of Stealth or something. It's definitely not on the same power level as a Scarf of Resistance. Alright, and after equipping the helmet that I was also carrying, we're pretty much at the same armor class that we were before. We lose some stealth, which doesn't really matter, and we gain fire and cold resistance, which does matter a good amount. I think that I can equip this Ring of Evasion, actually, instead of a Ring of Cold Resistance, for way better defenses. Lots of Emperor Scorpions. I'm glad that this character is actually well equipped to deal with them. Yeah, sometimes Emperor Scorpions can be the actual most terrifying thing to deal with here, but not this time. Okay, we're going for the Ousmancy because there's just too many enemies. Ousmancy makes it so that the Emperor Scorpions are corroded. Okay, this is actually getting kind of scary now. Charming. Oh, they're both really hurt. Come on, I can just finish them off with Tin of Tremorstones. Okay, yeah. Good old Tin of Tremorstones. Nothing beats that. It's nice to have G-Bar regen because I didn't have regen. I would still equip an Amulet of Regen if I happen to find one at some point. Yeah, the Scarf of Resistance helped a lot. I was a bit concerned about my resistances because the plate doesn't give any other than willpower. Um, but the Scarf of Resistance helps in that regard. Now, I would like to find boots, gloves, helmet, or amulet that give resistances. Ideally, all of those would give different complementary resistances, and then I would be set up to win the game. Yeah. But anyway, let's go back to D15 because I can to kill those dragons. How come you don't know how to? Did I get shafted? How did I get down here? Did I get shafted? Oh, I think I did get shafted by Ignis, and I didn't realize it. Yeah, yeah, of course. Well, let's continue exploring then. We don't care about fire skills. It's a shame because I've had some characters that have really wanted skills and they end up not getting any. This one doesn't care and gets immediately fire skills. Okay, let's go buy my ignition book. Exciting. I'll also put this on the wish list because there's also a possibility of getting that. Ignition is uncastable at the moment. Uncastable, but I'm still gonna learn it anyway because in time it will be castable. I can even equip wizardry or something to make it a bit more castable. By the way, if I happen to be able to acquire ignition by the time I like before I do shoals, it's gonna be really fun. Ignition is super strong in shoals. I don't think anything resists it, and it also deals extra damage because it creates a ton of steam. So it creates a ton of steam, deals a ton of damage, and it prevents you from taking retaliatory ranged attack damage because of the steam blocking line of sight. Extremely, extremely good spell, but also way overkill because after all, it is a level 8 spell. Anyway, back to Spider because I have to get a room from somewhere. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. Scorch is one of my most favorite additions to the game. Um, I think I've said it multiple times, but like the fact that it is so cheap to get it, it's like single school fire. So it's super cheap to get it castable. You need like 5 or 6 fire with like 5 or 6 spell casting to get it like almost full power. It doesn't check evasion. Um, it has a decent range. It's not full screen. It doesn't have a targeter, so you can just mash the button and cast it over and over and over again. It's really cool. Like I like everything about Scorch. Um, yeah, I wish there were more spells like that. Like I would actually like it if there were higher level spells that follow a similar design philosophy that are like as satisfying to use as a Scorch is. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Is it me or I've seen a ton of Emperor Scorpions? Normally you don't see that many in in this horrendous place. You usually see them like by the end, but I think I've already killed like 4 or 5. Where's my yeah, here it is. Okay. Emperor Scorpion. Keep your eyes open for Emperor Scorpions. They should be relatively high because they're high level. Oh, look at that. They're like right at the top of the list. Higher than the Orc Warlord. 5 Emperor Scorpions. Yeah, for like being Spider 3 only, so many Emperor Scorpions is actually very unusual. I think one of the greatest dangers of Broth Modders is that they spam so many monsters that you cannot easily tell which ones are real and which ones are not. So you think, oh, I just have to kill the Broth Mother, and then all of these monsters will disappear, and then you realize that it is in fact not the case, and you're still stuck fighting a bunch of stuff. In this case, it was not actually a big issue. But it can be an issue on other characters that are not as strong as this one. I have to say that also I've not been truly missing the lack of poison resistance. Yeah, I thought that it was gonna be much worse. Um, I wonder if Jiba spawns jellies in this level. Since there's a ton of cloud generators, the jellies would just die. Most likely they would die before getting to my items. So I wouldn't be surprised if Jiva didn't generate slimes here, but oh, never mind, Jiva does generate slimes here. Hopefully those are not items that I haven't seen yet. I think though that jelly ate some items that I may have liked, but I guess that's just par for the course for being a Jiva worshipper. What I get from Jiva is way better than what I get from, or than what I lose from being a worshipper of Jiva, so it doesn't matter. Lots of ugly things here. Orange crystal statue. The glyph for that is weird. I need to change it. Hey, Wand of Digging. That's a nice acquisition. Also another scroll of linking. This run is great. This character is crazy powerful. I wonder if there's like some foul playing behind the scenes that really actually adjusts the difficulty of your run based on what kind of species you select at the start. Because I feel like when I play simple species, I get the craziest luck. Like, look at this character. It's got a Randard Leviathan of speed that it was able to enchant, a highly enchanted plate that it can use while casting at the same time. It got robust, and it got a Jiva altar as a Cinder Acolyte. I feel like I got everything. Um, I also have a source of resistance to electricity too if I really want to use it. I would obviously prefer not to, but I could use it if I really needed to. Oh, by the way, I maybe should have been carrying that shield. I left it alone earlier. Um, hmm. So I did this with no difficulty, to be completely fair, and I don't think I got anything out of doing that. Um, it's fine. I lost a little bit of armor class innovation. The way that Jiva works is that Jiva wants to give you tier 3 of some of the mutations that you get. If you're not, if you lose some levels of a Jiva mutation, you will most likely lose it all in time. But you will have it be replaced with other high-level mutations. Can they slurp manuals? Yes. You thought you saw something like that in the vault? It was probably a manual of ice magic. And if it was that, I don't care. Yeah, they can eat manuals. They can eat anything that's not an artifact. I don't think that they can eat throwables that you have thrown, but I don't know about that for sure. It's weird. What they cannot eat for sure is artifacts. Scary spark wasp. Amulet of reflection. Well, I will equip that. Oh, okay, we're starting to get kinda destroyed by not by not having poison resistance, because I don't think that not having poison resistance is playing a lot into why I'm dying here. Yeah, the Spark Wasp shocks you for 1,000,000 damage. Yeah, Jiva regen saving the day once again. Let's equip this Amulet of Reflection. And it's only a temporary equipment item. I will get rid of it when I find an Amulet of Regen or so. Ideally, when I find the Amulet of Vitality, that is gonna be great if I find the Amulet of Vitality. Imagine having Vitality Amulet plus Jiva. That is a ton of regen per turn, and a ton of mana regen too. That is not really coming up a lot, but it would be nice to have eventually. So Fire Magic is at 17 and Ignition is at 63%. Yeah, it's probably gonna take me a bit more than 20, a bit more than 19, maybe like 21. That or I could replace my armor for something lighter, but it needs to be something truly special for me to want to give away my plus 12 plate. This character is so enjoyable. Like, really, on a normal spellcaster, being in this place would be hell because everything hurts like a ton. And also ghost mods, right? For this character, neither of those things are a real issue because tons of armor class, and I'm not really dependent on my mana to function as a crawl character. I can also hit things with my Laya tank, and it works very well. What is up with this character? Like, do you see what I'm doing? It's not particularly uncommon for a character to be at this power level, but or like to achieve this power level to be more precise, but to have it at this point in the game is very uncommon. I feel like. Normally, I wouldn't be able to just tap through multiple spider denizens at the same time, I feel. Man, I really needed a character like this because I feel like for a year or so, every time I've gone to Spider, it's been absolute misery. Um, so yeah, the fact that I've only had one close call in the entirety of Spider is really nice indicator of the power level of this character. Okay, a bit more accuracy. That's sweet. Barding of Flying. Rather uncommon thing to find. And it doesn't do anything for me because I am a mountain dwarf. I am not a naga or something. Anyway, that's rune number 1. And now we can go to Slime and see what wonderful artifacts we find here. And I say artifacts because the jellies are gonna eat everything else. I wonder if it's worth it to haste before going in. Maybe. Let's give it a try. I don't think I've ever done it. But yeah, if you haste, you move faster, so you have a chance to acquire more items, theoretically. I don't even know where the items are. Okay. I was kind of banking on the items being closer to the entrance. Haste and then magic mapping. Okay, yeah, I should have probably done that. Next time I'm gonna try it. Anyway, that's rune number 2. And we have an Amulet of Regen and Guardian Spirit. That seems really good. I'll drop what I have right now. Not that. I'll drop Reflection, and we can use this. Oh, the gem. Yeah, you pick up the starry gem and feel its impossibly delicate weight in your hands. And now I have a gem. Seems naughty with Jiva region. Yes, it is. Hey, wizardry. I think we can get rid of these. Wait a second. Huh. 2 rings of wizardry when cold resistance. That's unusual. But anyway, I would like to carry the one that has 5 dexterity. My success rate with ignition is 34, and we're getting close to 21. I should maybe get like 13, maybe 14 spellcasting instead of continuing to train fire magic. I have a fire magic title, and my only castable spell is a Scorch. That's so funny. What do the gems do? They don't do anything. I think that they add some to your score, and that's it. They're like trophies to say, hey, I got to this rune this fast. Um, yeah, let's see what the game has to say about gems. Sot hoards these gems jealously and will spitefully smash them soon after an adventurer enters the branch of the dungeon in which they rest. Still, a very quick-moving adventurer might seize one first and keep its precious shards. Sot cannot track gems outside their home branches, so with truly astonishing speed it might be possible to abscond while with one still intact. But such a feat is difficult to credit and likely pointless besides. Yeah, even the game is telling you you don't even have to do this. It's only for bragging privileges. Are the Dread and Beog changes on Trunk already? The Beog changes are because Mountain Dwarf is in the game and and Hilork is gone. I don't know about the Jared changes. Um, but we can find out by inspecting Jared Renul. Umbra, light the black torch. So yeah, the Jared changes are already in the game. What's happening to Jared? Another rework because the first rework was pretty lame. Um, yeah, this one is gonna be slightly more interesting, I've heard. This is really good. But is it better than what I have right now? Like, I'll carry it because I feel like it's gonna come up, but I don't think it is that important. Um, the fire resistance, like for SOT, but until then, I can get by with only one pip of fire resistance. Jared actually does something when you enter a new floor by giving you a bunch of undeads once each floor. Yeah, raising the black torch and stuff. Kind of fancy stuff. The negative willpower isn't even that bad of a thing. So if I was interested in using, or wait, if I become a mage, I can wield this for resistance to electricity. So it's actually um, worth keeping in mind. So do I have to get out of here, or I think I have to get out of here. That's not the button. That's the only gem that I will ever get, I think. Because you have to play in a drastically different way if you wanna get the gems. You see there how many turns until shattered and stuff. Yeah, like the ones that I cannot get because they are already shattered are not even here anymore. The prismatic gem takes 1,000 turns. So from the moment you enter SOT to the moment you get that, 1,000 turns. It's kind of difficult. Um, Many of them are easy to get. Dungeon and bolts are pretty iffy. Elf is probably gonna be doable in this or for this character because you can or well I can just ignition and that's it. I just ignition my way to the bolt. 14% chance to miscast ignition. Okay, this is gonna be really funny. Let's go do a little bit of shoals and cast a little bit of ignition. So for shoals, instead of having Scorch on the Quiver, I'm gonna have Ignition, and it's gonna be awesome. Yeah, beautiful first cast of Ignition. Didn't really kill anything, but it's okay. 3 dice of 10. Do keep in mind that the Ignition explosions stack up. So if you like, it scales up with the amount of monsters that are like together. Like the opposite of how Osokubo's refrigeration works. So clearly you want to use Gales before Ignition. You could do that. That's probably a very annoying min-maxy way to use Ignition. In fact, I don't know what happened with Railbird, but Railbird probably played like that. Railbird is a person who sometimes watches my streams. Haven't seen him around in a while, but all that he plays is Human Fire Elementalist of Sif Muna for some reason. I have no idea why, but that's all he plays. And I feel like if he heard of that Gale's Gravitas ignition technique, he would try to do it every time. Man, this is almost really good. Almost. It's on the cusp of being MVP amulet. The Slay -3 is rough. It's still perfectly usable without or with the Slay -3, I think. But disappointing that it has that. Yeah. If you think about it, it's actually offset by the by the ability of enchanting artifacts that I have as a mountain dwarf, because after all this Lajatang was +3 when I got it. So yeah, instead of it being +0 with that amulet of resistance to electricity, it's gonna be +6, which is really nice. Oh, that's not what I want to do. 11%. Enchanting artifacts. Let me show you. You don't have to look it up. Runic magic. You cast the spells with the assistance of glyphs marked upon your armor, greatly reducing the complex movements which would otherwise be required. The encumbrance rating of armor, all armor you wear is reduced by half for purposes of spell success. That allows me to cast Ignition in plate. Um, Artifact enchanting. You can use scrolls of enchant weapon and armor upon random artifacts. This cannot raise the enchantment above what would normally be possible on a mundane item of the same type, and cannot affect especially unusual artifacts at all. So you cannot use it on randards. I have the Trident of the Octopus King, and I tried to enchant it, and you can't. But it's perfectly fine. On randards are already strong enough. Yeah, that's a perk of Mountain Dwarf. Only Mountain Dwarfs get these abilities, which is really nice. So that's how I got that sick Lajatang. Yes, I got it up as a +3, and I enchanted it. In fact, the Lajatang made me pivot away from what I was originally going to do. I was gonna go Maces, and then I got the Lajatang, and I was like, okay, I guess we're going Lajatang. Yep. Very, very funny Shoals experience thanks to the wondrous ignition. Yep. What is that? I don't think I care about that. Yeah, it's a halberd. Luis, I fear you not because I have a lot of willpower. Your lightning bolts could hurt, but not that much. So I think it's okay. Um, yeah, I think I beat her pretty badly. I think she doesn't stand a chance. I kind of want to do something funny by drinking a potion of attraction. You gotta rip your old Veog run. Try this stuff out. Yeah, Veog also got reworked, but I guess you already know. The Guardian Spirit is kinda being annoying because it's preventing me from casting. I'm taking a lot of damage. What's up with that? It's because I used attraction. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have used attraction. Okay. How did I get here? Where's the upstairs? Were the upstairs removed by something, or I don't know what happened there. Oh, shafted. into a bunch of dudes. I should have maybe read teleport instead of reading attraction. Did I even have teleport? Ah, yeah, I have gotten some since I ran out. Okay, fortunately for me, the stairs were right around the corner. So my amulet of Guardian Spirit gives me 2 strength. I don't think the 2 strength is that impactful. I feel like I can probably remove it. I'll get drained heavily, but yeah, the Guardian Spirit is actually being detrimental, as is often is the case. Like, you don't want Guardian Spirit on any character that actually cares about its mana, and this one kinda does now that I have Ignition. Very funny that the Mountain Dwarfs are running around casting Ignition in plate. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to trivialize Krakens, but one of the least seen ones is Ignition. So it definitely feels really nice to have access to that ability. In fact, I'm a bit surprised that the Kraken survived 3 casts. It took me 3 casts to kill it. But I guess that just goes to show that I don't really deal that much damage. 3 dice of 11. It went up a bit. It used to be 3 dice of 10. But yeah, I want it to be much higher than that, of course. Roxanne. I really gotta change the glyph for statues. To me, this doesn't look like a statue enemy. Anyway, we are not gonna be using statue form, and we're not really an Earth Mage. Well, I guess that Earth Mage part doesn't even matter anymore. It mattered when Roxanne could drop a book, but she cannot drop a book anymore. She only drops her Randart. We don't really have a lot of farm magic spells. Unfortunate. We have the one that matters, I guess. Okay, we got Wild Magic 3. I mean, am I going to complain? This does give me more damage. Makes it harder quite a bit to cast Ignition. In fact, I might want to stop this at 12 and go back to Fire Magic. Just because I got Wild Magic 3. I think that it's okay. I'm not hyper reliant on Ignition. It certainly is something that I would appreciate being able to cast when I want to cast it, but I don't think that I truly need to cast it for this point of the game. How am I? I'm okay, thank you for asking. And which version is this? It's 0.32 trunk. I can show you by doing... not that. What was the key combination for? Version information. Yeah, there we go. This is a more in-depth answer than what you were expecting, I suppose. So this is on, yeah, Mountain Dwarfs are back. Very, well, I mean, once again, I said it earlier, they're back, but there was not much to bring back in the first place because they didn't have any signature things that they were known for other than like their aptitudes, and I don't like their aptitudes are not the same as old Mountain Dwarfs, I can tell you that. Um, but they have cool things that they do now unlike how they used to be earlier. Well, when I say earlier, I mean many years ago. Now they have the ability to enchant things, to enchant artifacts, and the ability to cast in heavy armor a lot more easily than any other species. They actually get like less penalized for wearing heavy armor whenever they're casting. So that allows you to be able to wear plate, um, fancy plate that you happen to find early enough in the game, and be able to cast ignition at the same time, which is wonderful. Yeah, pretty cool. You can play it online on the server as soon as you want. Um, Pretty cool. Yeah, new strength intelligence species. Oh, by the way, that reminds me, animate armor. We still haven't found animate armor. No, we don't have it. That's a shame. Yeah, this is the species for animate armor. Like the ultimate species for animate armor. When it comes to their aptitudes, they actually have pretty okay aptitudes. Um, some minuses, obviously -3 are magic, +2 fire magic. For some reason, I would expect them to have +2 earth magic and +1 fire magic, since not all volcanoes are mountains, or the other way around, not all mountains are volcanoes. -2 spell casting. Heal orcs also didn't have very good spell casting aptitude. They had good um, magic aptitudes, but not good spellcasting. Mm, and of course, decent armor, shields, decent fighting, decent weapon aptitudes for like good axes and maces, decent staves. Um, yeah, bad at dexterity weapons. Yeah, it really is just like strength intelligence, as you said. Yeah, very, very much unlike what Mountain Dwarf used to be, which was just like pretty much Heal Orc and Minotaur, with slightly different aptitudes. Nothing to differentiate them, but now it is completely different, which I like a lot. And Heal Orcs are gone, but now you actually get to worship Belg with every species, and whenever you worship Belg, that species gets turned into a Heal Orc. Well, it doesn't get turned into a Heal Orc, it gets turned into an Orc. You were spamming Demon Spawn spellcasters and you feel like you learned a lot. I lost a chunk of my armor class. I had 38 at some point, and now I'm at 33. It's fine. It's not like I really need it. Especially not with Ignition. Ignition is really helping a lot to shorten the duration of many of the fights that I'm getting into in this place, and I'll be getting into for the rest of the game pretty much. You don't play casters, all your wins are with O-Tavers. Have you played Jin? I always recommend Jin to people that say that they don't play spellcasters. Okay, let's train for Starburst as well. Only in mid sprint. I've got the gem. How did I get the gem? Oh, I got the gem because I wasn't particularly trying to get the gem. I got the gem because I have regen. That's why. Cool. Okay. So it turns out that getting gems is not particularly difficult after all. Oh, gems are another thing. Item, gem. A stone of unearthly beauty and almost immeasurable value outside the dungeon. Within its confines, it's utterly useless. Sod hoards these gems jealously and will spitefully smash them soon after an adventurer enters the branch of the dungeon in which they rest. Still, a very quick moving adventurer might seize one first and keep its precious shards. Sod cannot track gems outside their home branches, so with truly astonishing speed, it might be possible to abscond with one still intact. But such a feat is difficult to credit and likely pointless besides. Once the Orb of Sod is taken, Sod will be unable to smash any gems. Yep, pretty cool. Anyway, that's 3 runes. I can win the game now, but win the game without entering bolts? No, let's actually go to bolts. I could also go to elf. Caravan, yay! I have a ton of money, so I actually am interested in the caravan. Let's read magic mapping. It happens to be that the caravan is very close. That might be it. Or this could be it. This is probably the caravan, right? This is probably a normal shop. But it's so close that I might as well check it. Ah, so Jobo Band, or is it a normal, like, just Tango River? Okay, so it was just a normal Tango River. Mm, okay, very fun ignition things. My ignition still deals 3 dice of 14. I was hoping that it would go up to 3 dice of 15. You're gonna go to bed? Enjoy your rest. Talking about that, I'm adjusting my sleep schedule because it was pretty messed up, and I have something to do that I have to be up early in a couple of weeks. In a week, actually, in a week. So I am waking up 1 hour earlier every day. Like I'm setting up my alarm for 1 hour earlier. Today I woke up at 10 a.m. and tomorrow I'll wake up at 9, and then I'll wake up at 8 and then 7, and then like I think I'll quit it at 7. Yeah, I think I'll quit it at 7. I'll try to hold that. I'll try to make that um my normal waking up hour. I feel like that will bring a lot of benefits to my life long term. Um, but yeah. That will mean that I'll not be able to watch sumo live, but I think that it's a rather small sacrifice for a big gain. And also, I can always watch the sumo day on YouTube afterwards. So I don't want to drop anything because Worshipper of Jiva. Let's drop the artifacts. And also this, I'm not using that. By the artifacts, I mean the experienceable kobolds because they are artifacts. Jellies do not eat experienceable kobolds because they're unique. I don't care about that. Maybe if I had gotten early, or if I had gotten that book early, I would have been interested because it has Iron Shot. I think it sucks that the Book of Iron no longer has Iron Shot because Iron Shot is now Bombard. More books. How come the big book only has 2 spells? I feel like it should have Summon Dragon. Summon Dragon is still a thing that exists in the game, right? Would it be too broken if it had Summon Dragon? I don't think so. I was thinking of Plasma Beam, but nah. This Book of the Spectacle is more expensive than the one that I have outside of the dungeon. So far, this bazaar or this caravan seems like a scam. Do I even want anything else here? I think not. Okay, yeah. Underwhelming. I think that I should take off, or like I should equip the resistance to electricity so that I don't get randomly hosed by a Thunderhook. Um, yeah, that's fine. Your null also found Wormbane. You dipped into depths and now it's plus 12. Bold decision. Did you also happen to get like scales from your dragon slaying hunt? Oh man, I lost the boots and I also lost the horns. This is starting to unfortunately resemble um, a monstrous demon spawn. I also dropped the helmet by accident, so now I'm sure that I no longer have a helmet for when I lose the horns. Yes, this is the null that found Dragon King scales. Oh yeah, yeah, of course. And they're unlikely. Any scales that you find are unlikely to be better than that. Well, it seems to me that you're good to go to win the game for real. Like, the only limiting factor now is that you probably don't have 3 runes to enter Sot, but it sounds like you're strong enough to win the game already. Yeah, let's race. I think that I can beat the game faster than you can, but let me know what happens. I'll not end stream until I finish this character one way or another, because it's a melee character, so I can play it faster than a mage. Hell Knights unfortunately are immune to fire, so we do not get to do the funny ignition thing versus them. What do you have? Shadow Scales. Goodbye, Marjorie. Nothing to be afraid of. That Hell Knight actually dealt more damage than Marjorie did. You've got Snake Rune and you're on your way to killing shows. We'll probably get Slime for 3. Oh, you're putting the game down for today? I see. Sometimes that's for the best. Oh, does Marjorie get a Elephant now? Because that's actually kind of scary. I can beat it. It's okay. Nothing to be terribly worried about. I have the resistance. It hits as hard as an Orb of Fire, funnily enough. Um, so it's actually really scary. Offensively, it is a powerhouse, but it's not particularly tanky apart from its HP. It doesn't have good resistances or defenses. You're durable, but because of your poor strength due to starting as an ice elementalist, your kills take a bit, and you have to play careful and not just tap into big packs. On the bright side, you think you're gonna be casting the worst, craziest animate armor in the late game. Yep. Oh man, I haven't gotten it. I checked every spell, and I don't think I saw animate armor in the bazaar, but there's a chance that I missed it. We don't want an Amulet of Regen because I already have a better one. So you have a Queen of the Tengu. Nice, with a bunch of support too, so I can do funny ignition things. Do you have resistance to fire? No? Okay, maybe I'm just getting bad rolls. This is so funny. This is hilarious. I would even go as far as to say, um, I am casting a melee dude that like a tabby dude, and I'm tabbing hard, and I can definitely kill the rest of the game by tabbing, but I also have access to ignition. This feels like a Rue worshipper without actually going Rue, which is pretty cool. I'm enjoying this a very good amount. I don't think that this will be my favorite species, but it is definitely high up there. Hmm. But it gets an iron shot and actually deals a ton of damage. I'm gonna play it safe and Slimify. I wonder if Slimify the body is revives. Hadn't even stopped to consider that. Really want to find animate armor at some point soon. Alright, 6 armor class and cold resistance. That's really sweet. Yeah, I don't think that I'll ever bother with any other weapons with this character. I think that it is extremely unlikely that I'll find anything that makes me think like, oh yeah, I should totally throw away this +9 Laya tank. Nothing there is relevant to my character. Hey, an evening star. Okay, if I am going to throw away what I have right now, it would be for an evening star, but it's probably a +0 evening star, and I have 5 enchant weapon, 0 brand weapon, I think. Um, the auto pickup for that is probably turned off. Yeah, I only got one and I used it in the early game. Okay, this heal wounds is very expensive, but I don't think I have any, so. Oh, yeah, I didn't have any. I now have one. Worth it. Worth it. Yeah, this is great. I really am enjoying the experience of having access to ignition on a really strong melee character. So, I guess that I have to go buy Starburst, right? I wonder if I can already cast it. 3% chance to miscast the Starburst. Beautiful. Yep. Maybe I should have gone for Starburst before going for Ignition. We can probably put that on the Quiver instead of Ignition. So Starburst deals 6 dice of 13 damage. Great for monsters that are on straight lines. For monsters that are like bunched up close to me, Ignition might be better. Might actually deal more damage. None do well versus this Fire Giant, so I just go for the Taff. Fantastic. The Wrath of Drog. And if I really wanted, I could fully enchant it, but we're gonna leave that on the floor because it is not a mage item, and I'm a mage. That happens to be very good at hitting things as well. Nice, very nice. My first cast of Starburst and it was a miscast. What a scam. What else do we do now? What do we train for? More armor, more fighting? I guess more armor and more fighting makes a lot of sense. Do you think that I could get Firestorm? I think that Firestorm is probably flying too close to the sun. Like maybe that's too ambitious. I do have it. I know that I have it in this Book of Annihilations. Failed 99%. Yeah, I don't think that I can cast Firestorm. Lots of bold wardens here in this closet thing. I wonder why this was so heavily guarded if none of the items here are particularly incredible. The scimitar is the closest to that and it is still not great. Eight shield, 6 armor class. Nice. I am a bit surprised that Jiva hasn't gotten rid of my robustness. I definitely don't want that to happen. But I wouldn't be surprised if it did happen, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, that looked like a bit of an annoying room. You feel a bit more experience? Why am I gaining experience? What's up with that? I don't... I doubt that the jellies are capable of killing things here, right? Oh, it was because it was slime creatures. Were they stacking up and actually dealing some serious damage to things? Because that would indeed be able to kill some things at this point in the game. I just realized that Starburst may be a bit risky to use because of the whole Jiva Worshipper thing. I hope that I don't accidentally hit a jelly in my reckless usage of Starburst. Yeah, apart from poison resistance, this is going really, really well. I'll go to Elf and hopefully Elf can provide me with some poison resistance. I think that I can do Bolt 5 with this character actually. Like I can probably just Ignition most of the guys in the entrance party. This character is so powerful. Extremely enjoyable experience. Um, I think that in the future, whenever I want to play a spellcaster, I'm gonna play Mountain Dwarf. Yeah, this seems like it solves my issue with spellcasters, which is that it sometimes takes me forever to complete them, only for like, well, not even complete them, only to die like at some point in the game where I explode because it's already been so long and I'm a bit exhausted and that kind of thing. Yeah, these guys don't really seem to have that issue, at least not that I notice as of right now. Warden, okay, time to get out. I'll go back in there later, but for now let's go do Elf and get some stuff, and then we can go back to Bolts and see if we can get some more stuff. Mm, Yep, this character is just too much for these guys. One of the greatest weaknesses of melee is that it doesn't kill really, really fast. And I think Ignition helps a lot with that process of killing things really, really fast. Hey, 3 dice of 15 on Ignition. That's nice. I kinda have gotten used to Wild Magic. I hope that I get that I get to keep Wild Magic 3 for the rest of the game. Robustry would be nice too if Jiba decides to give it to me. Animated plate armor. Huh. What is up with that? I had never seen a dancing armor. It is straight up that. And I assume that if you were to kill it, you would get armor. It would drop a plate. Anyway, I want to cast that so badly. Cloak of Poison resistance. So, if I grab that, I get poison resistance at the cost of 1 pip of fire and cold resistance. I don't think it's that worth it. I think that I'm going to pass on it. Maybe at some point um, I get in a close call as a result of not having poison resistance, and I am persuaded in favor of using it. But for now, I don't think so. Okay, I can wear boots again. Okay, Dragon's Call is still a spell in the game. Why does the Grand Grimoire not get it? I don't get it. Just as a Grand Grimoire. One of a kind books. I don't think it will have anything relevant to my character, but let's take a look at them. Infestation. Very cheap for a book with a level 8 spell. Okay. Yes, I suspected not. Oh, wait, animate armor. Yeah, we don't have an animate armor. I can't believe it. I want that spell so badly, and I pretty much never care about that spell. And on the one character that does want it, I don't have it. It would be nice if you could see like how much time left do you have for. Okay, we still have more than 1,000 turns until Shattered. All right, let's do this. Leroy Jenkins and everything death. Everything is death. Yep. I knew that Ignition was gonna make this very, very easy. Elves are especially vulnerable to large area of effect things like that. Like even Freezing Cloud does a pretty good job of killing these guys. Ignition is a lot more um, direct. You skip the steps where you wait for a couple of turns for the Freezing Cloud to do its thing, and you just straight up kill the monsters. Pretty nice. Maybe I could have used Brilliance. No, I didn't really need to, and like in fact, we're not really struggling with mana-related problems. But I could have used Brilliance for more mana, for like less likelihood of running into mana problems. Very clearly, it wasn't necessary, so I guess it's fine that I didn't use it. Hey, there's a gem. Give me that. 3 gems. That's my personal best. I doubt that it will ever be topped. This Volt being crystal is so scary because I press the Starburst button. Take a look at what this is about to do. Oh, it only prompted me once. It used to prompt you like 17 times. Um, but yeah, it is scary. Ring of the Tortoise. I kind of want to equip that. I wonder if I can cast my stuff without Brilliance or without Wizardry. Poison Resistance Ring, but it's really bad. I don't want to equip that. When I say it's really bad, it may not be directly terrible, but what I'm considering is that I also sacrifice any of my, well, one of my other rings. Like I sacrifice a ring slot for that, and do I really want to do that? Leaning towards no. Mm, what I do want to do is probably get rid of the strength and yeah, Ring of the Tortoise, 49 armor class. Um, Amazing. 49 armor class. +1 gold scales. Nah. There's no way that I would like to use those, right? I could only enchant them to +5. And it will also make it harder to cast my stuff, so I don't wanna. Minus cast cloak. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, this must have been one of the um, easiest elf bolt clears that I've ever done in my life. Um, it was pretty much just like 3 or 4 casts of ignition, and everything died without any level of difficulty. It really is wonderful to have access to that kind of tool. I got hit pretty hard by something there. 74. Crystal Spear hits you. Okay. Yeah. Mm, I don't think we care about any of these things. Alright. Easy elf. I could do the rest of it. I guess I'll do the rest of it. Yeah, I dived for the rune. Or not for the rune, for the gem. Because I felt like it was gonna be especially easy to do with this specific ignition character. Hat of See Invisible. I don't have See Invisible, so I'll just buy this. Um, we drop the Ring of Fire Resistance. I think we do. I don't really see myself using it. Oh, we drop the minus cast cloak, like of course. I would say that I would be slightly underwhelmed by a character like this in normal circumstances. If it didn't have access to ignition, of course. Ignition is really a game changer. Ignition is the reason why this goes from being okay to being like super powerful. Um, in any situation where you see a bunch of monsters on the screen, just press the ignition button a couple of times and then get rid of the rest of them, which you can probably do real easy because Laya Tango speed, right? Okay, there's nothing in there for me. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, we're done with health. And I guess that I can do bolts 5 now. I can also go do depths. I saved the life of that jelly. Basket of spiders falls from above. Certain redbacks coming to view. I heard something a couple of months ago about making it so that that trap can place more than just redbacks. But I don't know what happens if that is still a possibility or something. You want me to say the truth or to tell the truth? I don't think that it should drop anything more higher level than redbacks because imagine that dropping Emperor Scorpions on top of you, like being surrounded by Emperor Scorpions, and then we have just like a ridiculous snake Guardian Serpent situation once again, and I don't think that's particularly funny. It's just like pay with one scroll of blinking here or die if you cannot pay the cost. Yep. I was fighting Asterion and I didn't even realize. Oof, that was pretty good, yeah. So at this point, even if I was to die, I think that this is good enough to put on YouTube. It has been a pretty interesting experience, and I don't know. It's probably because I got uber lucky with my loot. Um, but yeah, I think that this is actually really strong and really enjoyable, and I look forward to playing more of these. Um, I think I'll come back tomorrow and play another one of these guys. As I said, I want to try Okawaru, and I want to try what other thing I wanted to try? Okawaru and one more thing. I have no idea. I don't remember. I said it earlier. Try New Beog. That too, but not necessarily related to Mountain Dwarf. Mountain Dwarf with Oka, yeah, that's one. I said two things, but I think the other one may have just been trying New Beog. I don't need extra willpower. I already have so much willpower. I got so much dexterity for some reason. Cigarette, not with ignition. Like if I had Firestorm, and we're not even like outside of the realm of possibility of Firestorm. I do think that it is not the greatest of ideas. Like I think that it could directly increase the chances of me dying to go for Firestorm. Like it would be a net negative. It's just too much. Ignition is one thing, but Firestorm is two schools. It's level 9. Like the difference between a level 8 single school and a level 9 dual school is really a lot. So yeah, we're not going for that. Okay, we have a scroll brand weapon. We could think about using that for the evening star that I have. If I want to get rid of the Laya tank and what a shield, which I don't particularly feel like doing anymore, let me tell you. Now that I have a source of resistance to electricity that doesn't involve me using a shield, I don't really feel compelled to do that. It would be too much in a sequence of downgrades. Like I would have to downgrade my damage output, and I would have to downgrade my success rate to wear a shield, and there's no shield that compels me to do that, so I'm not doing it. Yep. Mm. Josephina with weakness to fire, as she always has. Goodbye, Josephina, with your weakness to fire. Yep. Josephina's ring is never good because the Ring of Ice is a terrible base type. I don't feel like it's so bad that I feel like it could be removed from the game and nothing would be lost. It's such a situational item that I have thousands of games and hundreds of wins, and I don't really think of any. I cannot remember any game where I used it, and I was like, oh yeah, this was actually like an important thing for me to have, or a fundamental item in my victory. Like if I had not gotten that Ring of Ice, I wouldn't have won the game. Nah, it's never like that. Let's drink Brilliance here. Then spam a little bit of this ignition thing. Yeah, sure, Caustic Strikes are resistant to fire and cold, but even they do not stand a chance versus the Might that is casting Ignition 5 times in a row for 3 dice of 17 explosions when they are all bunched up together. A traditional melee character would have had a hard time with this. It would have been rough. But a melee character with Ignition clears it in the blink of an eye. I'm really, really, really enjoying the experience of playing Mountain Dwarf. Yep, I am definitely gonna repeat it. I wish more things were like this in the game, actually. I really got lucky with the plate getting it so early, because no armor that I have gotten has come remotely close to being as good as the plate has been. Um, I'm starting to get a bit hungry. I think that after the stream I'll go make myself some pasta or something, something quick and easy to sate my hunger. Been getting a lot of miscasts for Ignition. I see that I lost Wild Magic. Yeah. I don't know how to feel about that. At least I can wear another ring that is not the Wizardry ring. Yeah, and I actually wanted to get rid of that because the dexterity barely does anything for my character. I'm not really using it at all. Um, and the cold resistance also didn't do anything, or doesn't do anything anymore now that I have 3 pips of cold resistance from Jiva. Um, I think that I would use if I somehow got a ring of Archmagi. You know, the only ring of Archmagi that exists, I think, is the ring of the Mage. I think we can go back to Bolts 5. I don't feel very confident going in the normal way because there's a Bold Warden and there's a Tentacle Monstrosity. Um, I'm gonna go down this shaft. I should step away from the line of sight of that alarm trap. I wonder if a shapeshifter that is berserk, like for example, they're like a Sky Shark shapeshifter. I wonder if it can shapeshift while berserk, and if whatever it turns into will still be berserk, because that probably has potential for some unfortunate, funny situations. Step away from the line of sight of that alarm trap. Otherwise, bad things will happen. Bad things are unavoidable. Do I cancel that? I only have one. Can I get petrified? Can killer clowns still petrify in SOT? Were they ever able to petrify? Vertigo silence, weakness to fire stat drain, or an aversion to drinking potions. The Clear Moon Pie. That wasn't that renamed to something else? That was not Clear Moon Pie. Will even make any adventure as fragile as its delicate, flaky crust. Yep. I'm not a fan of delicate, flaky food because I feel like it's too messy to consume. I do like crunch, but I feel like the delicate, flaky meals are usually desserts. And the crunch that I like is not necessarily or not specifically a dessert. I got seriously drained at some point. Um, Things are going very poorly, surprisingly, because that's what happens when you get marked in Bolt 5. Let's see if I can survive. We cancel. Yeah, I should have done that a while ago. I noticed the loss of wild magic. Let me tell you. Um, At first, I was not so happy about having gotten it, but I did grow very accustomed to the substantial damage increase. Yeah, to the point where I wish I had it, as opposed to what I have now. Mm, I guess that I can go back for that ring of poison resistance. Now that I have a relatively open item slot, ring slot. Jody. Jody is dangerous. Jody has always been a dangerous unique. I think that what we do is slimify Jody. Yeah, just play it safe. What does this guy have? Pain brand? Oh no, it's the Buckler of Reflection. That's what's been marked as an exotic item. Do you remember when the exotic items mechanic was introduced to the game and like pretty much everything was marked as an exotic item? I didn't particularly mind. Some people very clearly thought it was excessive, but I didn't particularly mind. Now only the truly nasty stuff is marked as exotic, like reflection or curare, distortion. Monsters with wands are also marked as having exotic items. Ouch. Okay, big damage from a Shadow Dragon. Heal wounds. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not really good at dealing with Shadow Dragons. They are often my bane because I seldom get the resistance. And this character happens to not have good armor class, so yeah. When you don't have resistance, or not good armor class, good evasion. So when you don't have good evasion and you don't have the resistance, those guys hit really hard. I should get out of here. There's just too many shadow dragons. I am inflicting upon myself attrition that is completely unnecessary. But on the other hand, I still want the rune, so... And I already killed so many things here, might as well go the whole way, right? Enchanting artifacts is such a cool mechanic that these guys have. Yeah, as I said earlier, I didn't think it was gonna be as impactful, but yeah, plus 9 Laya tank. That's all I have to say, plus 9 Laya tank of speed. Sword of Songuldrok. But it's a sword, so we don't like it. Found the rune. Okay, I'm glad that it warned me. Yeah, I was just thinking. It's only a matter of time until I cast Starburst in such a way that it would hit Jellies and Jiva is gonna get mad. But at least you get warned, so it doesn't happen. Oh wait, Fire Dragon skills of Hubris are not terrible. They're not terrible. I would use them if I didn't need the willpower. Yeah, because I feel like they would actually let me cast Firestorm. 92 damage Crystal Spear. Jelly pops out. I don't see any jellies. Do you see any jellies on the screen right now? Like apart from this one, because this one doesn't count. It's supposed to summon a real jelly, and the message did get printed. So what's up with my jelly? Where did it go? Did I just get scammed by Jiba? Oh, look at that! Did it appear in like one of the tiles where I wasn't seeing, or something like that? And if so, how did it even do that in the first place? So weird. Having a Quicksilver Ooze as an ally is so strong. These guys need to be able to speak. I actually don't know if they can cast while submerged, while engulfed. I have no idea. What is the tile for the Ancient Lich? It looks like it has like a weird diamond for a head. Well, back to my console gaming. Every time I get one of these, I'm like, please don't remove Robust, please don't remove Robust, and I don't think that I have lost Robust yet. Yeah, I've had it for pretty much the entirety of the playthrough. Feels pretty good. So many ancient liches here. I should get out, right? There's still a little bit yet to explore, but I highly doubt that there's gonna be anything there. So yeah, let's just go do SOT. I wonder how that's gonna go. I'm glad that I decided to buy this Laya tank. This could have been a drastically different character had I not bought that. Maybe I would have died, because this Laya tank is like the best thing that I have gotten. Until Wrath of Trog, but I didn't really want to use that. Is this some sort of firebolt that I just unleashed upon the world? Because yeah, ignition is not really gonna kill a lot of these guys. It does look like I unleashed some form of firebolt onto the world. Let's use Ooze Mancy to deal some acid damage to these guys. It very quickly destroys them, as you can see. That's pretty cool. Yep. Let's go get that ring of poison resistance, because I feel like that's gonna happen a lot in SOT and I'm gonna hate it every second of it, so... Might as well save us the problems of being vulnerable to that. Yeah, hopefully I won't need the third pip of fire resistance. If I do need it, I do have the option to use a potion, so it's not like I don't have access to 3 pips of fire resistance for Orbs of Fire. Yeah, we're gonna be fine. I'm a big fan of the changes to resistance to corrosion. I feel like getting to absurdly large amounts of corrosion now is extremely unlikely. So I would say it's a pretty nice buff. So for the SOT gem, 1,000 turns. I guess we can try it. I have to dive it, but it's not like I don't want to do that or something. How many scrolls of magic mapping? 3. I'm gonna save them for the lower levels. That's pretty scary. This is actually really, really bad. I don't know how I do this. The Berserk Tentacle monstrosities are strong enough to be able to punch through my armor class. Um, Sometimes, I suppose. Like, obviously 14-9 armor class is still enough to mostly parry them, but still, this is kind of scary. And there's 2 of them, too. I killed the Moth of Rat, right? Yeah, I'm slow. There's getting out of here is gonna be almost impossible, right? Yeah, I shouldn't even attempt it, I think. Um, Okay, didn't kill the Moth of Ra, didn't kill the Ghost Moth. The Death Cop before it slowed me. Yeah, this is not going great. I think that I read blinking here. Hopefully it does blink me. Okay, it didn't blink me. Yeah. Now it's gotta blink me. Every attempt to blink away from a monster that's constricting you, well, every blink attempt that you do when a monster is constricting you counts as two movement options, or like two movement actions of walking away from a monster that's constricting you. Really rough. There's a couple of things that I can do about this. I don't know if you can slimify that. It says that it's demonic. Living or corporeal undead, so it doesn't work on demonics. Okay. I could have used Mancy to corrode them and like start um to whittle them down. I have 6 summoning. This is actually the correct thing to do. Scroll of summoning to make some room between me and those guys. Chadleywick, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Did I kill one? Or yeah, okay, one of them did die. That's sweet. Favorite DCSS YouTubers? That's wild. Have you seen other people who also put YouTube videos up? Like for example, um, the Torinsky. The Torinsky uploads daily. It's not full playthroughs, but it is indeed daily runs, or like daily fragments of a run, I suppose. Uh, okay, let's get out of here. That was unfortunate and inconvenient. That burned a lot of time actually because I want to try to get the gem. You just got your first win 2 weeks ago. You have been playing on or off since 0.1 something. Your work install was 0.17. For a second, I thought you meant actually 0.1 Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. Okay, please, no mods of rat supporting you. I can beat you 1 versus 1. But if you have a mod of rat, I cannot beat you. Oh man, really lucky generation for the purposes of getting the gem. You thought you were playing in high school, but this game came out 2 years after your grad year. I think that it came out in like 2006, or like it started development. There was a version of Crawl before Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup that was Lin Lee's Dungeon Crawl. Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup is itself a fork of Lin Lee's Dungeon Crawl. So you may have played Lin Lee's Dungeon Crawl. Hmm. Magic mapping. You put this game on a USB and used to play it in the library in high school. Your first roguelike was Castle of the Winds in Windows 95. My first roguelike was NetHack in 2010, something like that. Yeah, 2010. I think that's what it was. I was in middle school and I found NetHack and I was so hooked on it. Um, and then I eventually grew to think of NetHack in the ways that I've described in my videos where I talk about NetHack. Um, and when it comes to crawl, I feel like I have reached it's a different point, but like I don't play it as much Oh, look at that! I thought that I needed to get the orb in order to get the prismatic gem. Sweet. Now I have 4 gems, I think. Sweet. I didn't think it was gonna be in the vestibule. Hmm. I'm not gonna do the rest of SOT because I don't need to. I'm just gonna go. Um, Andre Jobin, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I'm just gonna go do or like clear the path because I skipped some monsters earlier in my rush to get the gem. Aha, these guys. You were just a failed Call of Duty YouTuber who only has 23 Twitch followers despite having a Twitch account since 2010. Yeah, it's complicated when it comes to like content creation of video games. The only reason why I have a following at all is because I play something that's extremely niche. So when it comes to my stuff, you can choose between me and Torinsky and Wizard Ike and Particle Face. Pretty much, we are the only four that do crawl content on a rather frequent basis. It's not like we are competing with one another. Let's clarify. But But yeah, I think that the reason why I have a big following is because I was one of the first to do it consistently. Okay, that's actually not a terrible teleport. I can just do a good old shinobi play, better known as a ninja, and get in there. They're gonna blink me out, and that's gonna suck. But I don't think there's much that I can do about it. Yeah, immediately blinked out. Okay, so seeing what I see there, I think that the correct thing to do is probably to just blink away or like teleport away. Kind of sketchy. Wizard Dyke is a personal hero. Helped coach you to your first win. Yeah, he's nice. You must play silly games with your wife. Hope to catch another stream. Enjoy your silly games with your wife. Have a nice rest of your day or night or whatever. I guess this is okay, but it still kind of sucks. Mm, I'm gonna get instantly Quicksilvered by this Quicksilver Dragon. Yeah, instantly. I think that I might as well just kill it and then buff. Merfolk Ice Elementalist. You probably got it. It's a strong combo. Once you're done with that, you should try Mountain Dwarfs. This is the first one that I've played. So far, it looks like I might get 100% win rate on Mountain Dwarfs and therefore never play Mountain Dwarfs again in this account. But yeah, I've enjoyed it so far. Maybe it is because I got super busted loot, or maybe they're legit that strong. Okay, that went very, very well. No, 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 no. We have seen what happens. Um, we have seen what happens in these situations. Yeah, and it is even more dangerous than the first time that happened. So we immediately get rid of it. We read another Fogu here. We go for resistance. I'm still buffed. I wish I was at higher HP. Let's just use a preemptive heal wounds. I don't know if heal wounds was buffed or something, but I've been getting some pretty okay heal wounds rolls in this playthrough. Okay. Apparently I do a ton of damage. Yeah, that guy died very quickly. Didn't stand much of a chance. Okay, Orb of Fire number 1. We get 4 misses in a row. Sweet. Can I Slimify here? Or like Oozmancy? Does it affect any of these walls? I don't see anything. I don't think that they are affected. I'm a bit surprised that the other Orb of Fire is not here. There were 2 of them. I don't have stealth. Aha, there's the other one. Okay. Yeah, we're strong enough to be able to easily deal with Orbs of Fire. You cannot use spells while silenced. It's fine. I didn't even want to use spells anyway. Get over here so I can melee you. It doesn't IIRC. It doesn't what? Oh yeah, Oozmancy on the wall. Yeah, you can see that the normal walls that are not indestructible are actually affected. It's a shame that indestructible walls are not affected by Oozmancy. Feels like more of a bug than anything. I just realized that one of my switches doesn't make the clicky sound anymore. The one for the letter B. In case you don't know, I use by keys for movement. What are by keys? These are by keys. And the one for the letter B, you can hear it. Doesn't make the clicking movement or the clicky sound anymore. The other ones do. I don't mind. I don't mind really. I just found it unusual. It was the first one to be degraded to such a level that it doesn't make the clicking noise anymore. I wish none of them had the clicking noise, but I don't wanna. Like, it's such a minor thing that I would feel guilty over spending money for something like that when there's more important things to spend money on, you know? So yeah, I do have to say that it has been an interesting experience to use a mechanical keyboard. This is the first mechanical keyboard that I've ever owned in my life. Still, thank you to Shaper for pretty much sponsoring this keyboard. Mm, and yeah, I've enjoyed it a lot. It really is a game changer to have a mechanical keyboard compared to a traditional membrane keyboard. It's a whole nother world. I got a bit lucky when it came to the teleports. Like, of course, the first teleport was really rough, especially since there was a dispersal trap that like pretty much pushed me away from the orb vault. If there hadn't been that, I would have been able to just get in. But then the second teleport put me in safety in a moment where I was like pretty unsafe. So yeah, that was nice. Ouch! I'm kind of dying here. Why am I dying? It's just attrition. Okay, so yeah. I didn't get blinked. Why didn't I get blinked there? walk away because it's the end game, so whatever. Didn't last for very long, the use, man. Oh, no, 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 it's still going. It's just that for some reason I cannot see it in console. Weird. Why can't I see it in console? In tiles you can see it just fine. Oh, it's because it's bloodied. Ah, in console the blood overrides the slime walls. That's janky. So I have 273 HP at experience level 24. Man. How much experience aptitude did these guys get? Experience they get -1. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. It's not -2. -2 is super rough. -1 is it's low. It's kind of average. Like look at how many things have -1. Uh, Ignore the draconians. Yeah, lots of things have -1. In fact, very few things have +1, and +1 is the highest, I think. I don't think there's anything with +2 in regards of experience. Oh. But anyway, we have gotten the Orb of Sword. Let's just get out of here. I'm gonna haste because I don't want to be trapped fighting something that I cannot kill easily. I can probably kill almost anything that the game chooses to throw at me at this point, but that doesn't mean that I should even attempt to do so. Like, for example, this Hell Sentinel. Unfortunately, I'm not hasted anymore. Let's just re-haste. Summoning. If I had butterflies, this would be the perfect time for butterflies. Okay, the Hell Sentinel is getting absolutely spanked by the scroll summoning. That's actually wild. I'm still hasted, so I'm just gonna run away. Walking away from whatever you need to walk away from real fast. Who needs controlled teleport anyway when you can do that? So now Reapers pull you towards them. I think that's pretty funny for the orb run. Wow, that was a smooth orb run. Nothing. Nothing from like what was it, Depths 3? Nothing from Depths 3 to D1. Jeez, I do insist in the conspiracy that like depending on what column your species is on, like it's a different difficulty generation. Because how else do you explain what just happened? Oh man. But anyway, let's just inscribe this with youtube.com/@9sepper. All right, and let's get out of here. Victory has been achieved once again. 100% win rate on Mountain Dwarfs in this account. In my original account, I don't have a 100% win rate on Mountain Dwarfs because I played old Mountain Dwarfs when they were, normal. When they were like Hilork and Minotaur, pretty much the same thing, with slightly different aptitudes. So yeah, Mountain Dwarf, fun. I want to try more. With 4 gems too. Took me 3.5 hours. Not bad at all. Fast, fun, strong. What else can you ask for? Now, I will be back at a later date, yet to be determined. I don't know when that is going to be. It might be tomorrow, it might not be tomorrow. I still have no idea. I also may not be playing tomorrow Crawl, even if I do stream tomorrow. I still don't know. Um, but yeah, anyway, mm, thank you all for your continued support. If you feel like doing so, you can always contribute to the Panda Express fund so I can have some Panda Express for me and my mom. I would appreciate that because we like that. Um, and yeah, I don't have much else to say. See you around. Have a nice rest of your night, and thank you for supporting me and liking my stream. Bye.